Space News, April 10, 2024. Hello again. Thank you for being here with me once more. I wish you are very well today. I am Marie. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. I hope you enjoyed the eclipse, be it that you could see it, or be in its direct path, to live it with all its might. Lower and higher astral existential realms were the closest to the world of the living during that time, for better and for worse, depending on the thoughts each person was having, depending on their vibration and with what they were compatible with. Good things and bad things, heaven or hell, only depend on what each one of us can visualize and on the vibration we can sustain from what we are visualizing, as thoughts are vibrations, and vibrations are things and situations. We also watched the eclipse from here in low Earth orbit. There is an observation room, all the way down and to the front of Starship Toleka. It has transparent walls and floor, much like a glass-bottomed boat or yacht, and as a large room, it was designed to watch what is happening below the ship, for example on the planet it is orbiting. The problem is that this time we couldn't use it, because the ship orbits Earth sideways. I mean, it is the port side of the ship, the one which is facing Earth and not the bottom, and the reason why we could not use that perfectly designed observation room is that Starship Saskatchewan is docked with Toleka, on that side, blocking the view towards Earth, precisely in the direction we needed to see, to watch the eclipse from here. So, what we did was watch it from the Red Saloon Room, where the grand piano is located, and where we celebrate the birthday parties, because although it does not have a glass floor, the windows to the port side of the ship in that saloon could clear Saskatchewan's black hull, enough to watch Earth from there. It was an amazing sight from up here, as we could see the moon's shadow move across the surface of Earth. We saw it as a very dark disk moving on the ground, and with a less dark shadow aura around it, which disseminated into the areas of the planet with full daylight. We were amazed at the shadows of the moon being projected onto the different levels of clouds below, and how the shadow moved through them. We also could catch a glimpse of some city lights briefly turning on as the shadow passed over a town while we watched from above the southeastern Canada area, where the ships were passing. All this spectacle lasted only like 12 minutes for us here, because Toleka and Saskatchewan's orbital speed, or roughly 7.7 kilometers per second, made us move away from over North America, where the eclipse was happening, very fast, and after 180-minute, full orbit, when we passed again, it was all over. We could also watch the eclipse directly from here, looking towards the moon, but we could only see it as a crescent sun, because of our physical location. As the eclipse was passing below, the sensors and systems at CIC Information Deck, here in Starship Toleka, detected countless power surges coming from Earth, especially from over North America, all coming from artificial portals which were turned on during that time, including the large one in Switzerland, which I am no longer allowed to address by name here, but you know which one. After the eclipse passed, we noticed many videos on social media and YouTube with images of unexplained phenomena and unidentified flying objects, which I must warn you are mostly fakes, or digital glitches, as I have been explained by the CIC team, yet some of them are real, but I cannot share which of them with you because of copyright issues, and because if one or another gets wrongly discredited by someone down there, it would only end up hurting my side. This next has just been declassified. Not all was nice from here during that time, as this ship bridge received a distress call from Viera Space Traffic informing us that a Centauri Black Knight fighter craft was missing. The last time it was seen was flying over the Arlington, Texas, area during the eclipse and disappeared south of the border, in the Mexican area known as the Silent Zone. Yes, there is a video going viral right now. You can search for it as Arlington, Texas UFO. It's easy to find. The object seen there is most probably the Centauri Black Knight craft losing altitude, but I cannot assure you that here, as it simply coincides with the location, and more or less, trajectory of the craft as reported here, but it still could be something else, including a hoax, because although what can be seen in that video is a dark streak moving among the clouds, its shape is not conclusive, as it does not resemble a black knight. Yet, the real shape of the craft may have been distorted by its speed and lighting conditions, so who knows, it is still quite possible that it is so. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to lose an advanced spacecraft on a planet such as Earth, because the craft itself emits a transponder-like signal to its traffic control, just as any aircraft would. And even with those systems turned off, it would be easy to locate simply by its engines and hull's magnetic energy signature. At the time I am writing these words, on the morning of the 10th of April, 2024, my time, I have been informed that the craft has already been found after it crashed onto the ground in northern Mexico. We think that some sort of cloaking device or frequency jammer was placed over the craft, so it would not be detectable by its peers and by Viera space traffic, but we speculate as there is no hard data on this yet. The craft was found by Centauri forces who quickly removed it from the site, supposedly before it fell into the wrong hands, but this does not add up too well from our point of view, as they took no less than 36 hours to do so, more than enough for you-know-who to arrive there first and take it away. The information about the craft being found came from Centauri forces directly to Toleka's bridge, and it is not an official Viera space traffic notification, so this could be a cover. Perhaps it did fall into the wrong hands. As for its pilot and co-pilot, the ejection pod of the craft was fired before the crash, and it was found about a mile away, empty. Although the craft has not fallen into the wrong hands, according to the Centauri, they fear for the pilot and co-pilot, who have not been located yet, at the time I write these words. It is said that they wandered off into the desert to avoid being captured by you-know-who would also be after their craft, but again, we only can speculate. The Centauri, via the Viera, have issued a help request to all other star races who operate on and near Earth to help find and locate the two missing Black Knight pilots. And at this time the search is on. Queen Alanim has dispatched a team of highly trained Hashmalim Special Forces team to help with locating the pilot and co-pilot. This information about an operation which is in progress would usually be kept in tight secret, but this time I was allowed to inform in the media about it, only because CIC informed me that governments on Earth, especially Mexican and US governments, are well aware of the presence there of Taygetan forces, and those of other races in that area, which is off limits to the normal population anyway, so no harm in saying these words, according to Taygetan High Command. As you know, the Galactic Federation controls those governments, all of them anyhow, and it has issued a non-intervention order, so they tell their forces to stay away from the compromised area, and according to what I have been informed, both governments are complying. The problem is that there are several government factions and levels, as everything is compartmentalized, so even though the deepest level is obedient to the Galactic Federation's orders, other more belligerent surface areas are not, or would not be, so there is always a lot of danger, as you can expect. Something suspicious and big is going on behind this Black Knight's supposed downing, because it is the third incident of this kind against Black Knight spacecraft in as many weeks. The first incident was a severe engine and multiple system failures, which almost caused the Black Knight to crash over the southern part of Spain. Then a few days later, another Black Knight craft crashed or was downed over the area of Magellan's Strait, in South Argentina, just a few miles away from where Earth's governments are planning to build a special station that will concentrate all the traffic and all the traveling to the areas of Antarctica which can be visited. This alone raises an eyebrow, as it is highly suspicious. This looks like a campaign against Black Knight Centauri fighter craft, which are the main Federation crafts that enforce the no-fly zone and blockade isolating Earth. This certainly does look as if someone, I guess you can laserize who, as I can't say it openly, is wanting to evade and escape the Galactic Federation's blockade. I will keep you informed about this situation. In other news, the repairs on board Starship Toleka are nearly concluded, which means that Starship Saska-1 will be returning to its starport in Tema in the next few days, as its service tour here is finishing. In the last space news, I informed you of the possible arrival of Starship Alcyone, which would start an incursion in the media on Earth, as it is still being planned. I must stress that this is only at the planning stages, as many things must come to pass before that ship's arrival in the next few weeks if everything goes as planned. You must be made aware that they will not be joining social media openly, at least at first, as most of the crew member operators are untrained full Taygetans, so they must learn a lot about human society before even considering venturing into social media, if such venture is ever fully authorized, because as I said in the previous video, they would only be there posing as star seeds, and not openly saying who they are. So please beware of fakes and posers who may want to simulate being a Taygetan on the media. Do not believe anyone openly saying so unless I verify them, here on my YouTube channel. Starship Alcyone is still in Taygeta, orbiting Tema, and its arrival date here is not yet planned or known. But in further news, Starship Asterope, which is an Alcyone class, version 2, dreadnought, may be arriving here to back up Toleka as soon as next Saturday, April 13, 2024, but this is not 100% a sure thing yet. Asterope will replace Saska-1 here, who will return to its supply ship main role, with this also accentuating Taygetan's presence in this area of space. Asterope is an Alcyone 2 class ship, which is a scaled-down, smaller version of the Alcyone Class 1 larger dreadnoughts such as the Alcyone herself. Asterope has the same shape as the Alcyone 1 class, yet she is roughly 30% smaller, but she isn't exactly little, as she is 2,500 meters long, about 800 meters larger than Toleka herself, which is the Taygetan's fleet's flagship. Asterope will conduct several tasks here, but her main role will be fleet defense, alongside the smaller Vigilant Eagle. This will be all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.